Hello, I'm Wayne with modularhydro.com. We're going to show you how to take your clone, and we're going to actually plant one live, and we're going to go into our 3.5-gallon bucket with soil, but it utilizes the air injection technology spider for soil. Now we have plenty of videos on this, and we have a video specifically how to set your bucket up. It's a little bit different than transplanting in soil traditionally. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure the soil is fairly saturated, 90% plus. You want to make sure there's ample water in the bucket and in the system before you do the transplant. And we're going to show you how to do that on a close-up. But what I want to do is I want to show you, we're going to go directly from our EcoFlow DWC mini cloner directly into the bucket. It only takes a few minutes to transplant. We're going to take this back plant, but I want to talk about something real quick before we do this. 2 to 4 hours before you do your transplant, before you come out of your DWC mini cloner, you want to take your roots. I know it sounds cruel, but it actually is very beneficial for the plant. You want to trim the roots somewhat even. We've already done that. Make sure you wipe down your pruning shears or your scissors with some alcohol to sterilize them. Then what you want to do is just leave this in your cloner for another maybe 2 hours, and then you want to do your transplant. You want to do it that day. If you're going to do it the following day, you want to trim again. You want the roots nice and even. So the rest of this video, we're going to go ahead and do a close-up and actually do a transplant into the air injection technology for soil. We just wanted to give you a quick close-up of the EcoFlow DWC mini cloner to show you how healthy those roots are. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? We've already trimmed our roots, and we're getting ready to go into our bucket with our soil and our air injection technology for soil. But we wanted to give you a close-up and show you the roots developing, and then also look at the plants on top. Look how beautiful green they are. They're just absolutely succulent as can be. And you want to always start with a super healthy clone. The EcoFlow DWC cloner definitely clones healthy plants. So let's go ahead and show you how we transplant. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and do our transplant from our DWC cloner. First thing you want to do is make sure the soil is completely charged with the appropriate amount of water, and we're going to show you how to do that. Make sure your pump is plugged in, your air line is plugged in, and the pump is on high. What we're going to do is we're going to just slowly add water, because we're close. We already pre-charged earlier, and we have a video on how to do this online. In traditional soil, your soil is not going to be this saturated when you do a transplant. Normally you do your transplant, then you water it in. With this technology, it's the opposite. You want to make sure you have plenty of water in the bucket and make sure it's charged. Now, how you can tell it's charged properly is put your ear down close to the bucket, and you're going to hear the air bubbles bursting out of the top of the soil. Then you know it is fully charged. If you add too much water, it's not a problem. Just simply pull your plug down below and drain a little bit of water out. So let's go ahead and get our clone ready. We're going to pull that out of our DWC mini cloner, and we're going to take our neoprene collar, and we're going to pull the plant out. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Remember, we trimmed the roots earlier, and the reason why is when you have stragglers, it's unhealthy for the plant anyways. You want them all nice and even. Not only that, we don't have to dig a super deep hole. We want to try and keep those roots suspended in the soil when we fill it back in the way they came out of the cloner. You don't want coiled roots. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take, and I just like to use a small cocktail fork. And watch what happens when I pull the soil back. I'm just going to go ahead and dig the appropriate size hole looking at the roots. Gives me an idea how deep I need to go. And if you notice, what's nice about this is the soil's not falling back down in. So we can take this and grab it close to the top of the plant, place it into its appropriate depth, tuck those roots down in, keep them as straight as possible. You don't want those roots balling up or bunching up. So once we get this positioned properly like this, now we're going to take and just drop in our soil. Nice and even all the way around. Take our little cocktail fork and just dampen down your soil like you normally would traditionally, nice and even. And the soil is super saturated, so it'll really take well with the plant and it'll hold in there just absolutely beautifully. Look at that. Now what's nice about this the plant's not going to experience any shock because it is in this absolutely super saturated soil. So you're not going to see the plant wilt on you an hour later or 2 hours later. Okay, and basically that's it. You're done. You just did a beautiful transplant. And look at that. That is just gorgeous looking. Let's do a quick recap. And something I forgot to mention was our hydroponics log sheet. Just go to our website, and under how-to guides you can print this off. And what I do is I write everything down that I did. I wrote down my pH, my start date, the time I started this transplant, the nutrients that I'm using, the total dissolved solid. I was at 490 parts per million because it's a brand new plant going into the bucket. So you want to keep a basic log sheet, and they're free. They're in PDF format on the website. Just print one off. And also your DWC cloner. This is a fantastic system. I use this pretty much on a daily basis. So this clone here is going to go into soil in another 2 to 3 days. This one is already ready to go. Maybe we'll go today. We did 2 this morning. But you can just rotate plants in this thing constantly. It's fantastic. It's a small footprint. It's so little. You can do 4 plants, and 2 of them you can obviously do 8 plants. It's available on the website at modularhydro.com. Our air injection technology for soil is totally revolutionary. How cool is it going to be to watch this plant grow with the speed of hydroponics? It's literally going to grow 50% plus faster than in traditional soil. And you organic growers can use this technology. You can add whatever nutrients and add whatever fertilizers you want to the plant, but you're going to grow with the speed of hydroponics. I think that's pretty revolutionary. Again, I'm Wayne with modularhydro.com. For more informative videos such as this, go to modularhydro.com. Thank you.